Hello, my people. How are you? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm happy and excited to be back here. You are all welcome. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for those people who have been coming day by day. Thank you even for the people who have come here for the first time. You're so much welcome. Yeah, this is a nice place. It's a place where we come talk. It's a place where we come learn. It's a place where we come and share our life experiences. You're so much welcome. Thank you. Good. Today, as now it has become our trend, this YouTube channel is all about talks. It's all about running. We have come to talk about something that has been going on and something that we have been reading and maybe interacting with in our social media handles, something that has been trending in the recent past days, and it caught my attention, and I felt it's important that maybe I give my insights and maybe my views, because we're here to look at life together. It's an issue that I felt it's important that I look into, and as we all know, and as the title goes, it's parenting. And for us today, we'll be narrowing it down to parenting of this young generation. We are calling them the Gen Z and maybe the Generation Alpha. Yeah, that's what I want to base our talk today about. Parenting this young generation, parenting the Gen Zs, parenting the Generation Alpha. I know some of us may be millennials, some of us may be Gen Zs. The Generation Alpha is a bit young. It's the generation that we are parenting right now. And we all have different approach of parenting because times are changing. And at times you get to sit down and you realize times are changing. And as much as other things are changing, imagine also parenthood is changing. And it's the high time we get to realize that as other things are changing, we have to change our parenting. Because things have changed. Children of nowadays are so much exposed. And there's no way that we can raise them as we were raised. You know, for us, especially for us millennials and those of the back generations, most of us, we say that we were brought up in military camps. Actually, for those people who are a bit older than us, for us at least we got our parents when they have at least been lenient enough. But I hear of stories of maybe those people who are older than me. Actually, those people got a harsh parenting. And in one way or another, for sure, they were brought up in military camps. Because parenting then was not that easy. And even them being children, it was not easy. And now, times are changing day by day. And as parents, we have to learn on how to change as times are changing. Because we cannot bring that African mother in this generation that we are in. At times it can never work. It can never work because these children are different. They are so much different from us. Today I'll be having a brief talk or just a common talk, because there is no manual for parenting. There is no manual for parenting at all. And there is no guideline for parenting because children are different. Parents are different. Backgrounds are different. So there's no set manual that one can follow for a proper parenting. At times it takes God's grace, and at times it takes a lot of God's wisdom, because it's not easy at all. It's not easy because parenting at times can be overwhelming. Parenting can be chaotic. Parenting can be the hardest things that someone can ever encounter in this life. Because you are a parent, you're dealing with a small you who comes with even things that yourself you don't know. So at times trying to be in their position, at times trying to nurture them and to bring them up to become a grown-up person, it's never easy at times. So one thing I would like us to know is that parenthood has no manual. It has no manual. So you cannot be there calling someone a good parent or a bad parent. No. It has no manual. But I would just like us to just go around parenting, especially of this young generation that we are in. One thing that we can get to realize about, maybe let's talk about the Gen Zs. Gen Zs are children that have grown up in an era where they are exposed to too much. There are some of us that by the time we were completing our high school, there are so much that we didn't know. And children of nowadays, these Gen Zs, by the time they are completing Form 4, I don't think there's anything that in this universe that they don't know. These children are exposed to too much. They get to know a lot. Maybe from the education they are going through, at times through the social medias, at times maybe it's even how we are bringing them up. There is a lot of interaction that used not to happen in our earlier days. So these children know a lot. So as parents, we should not be ignorant of that these children know a lot. You know, because our parents knew there is much that we don't know. And there's a way our parents used to handle us. They used to tell us, don't do this, but they won't give you a reason why you should not do it. In this generation, you can't just tell them not to do this. Why? Why you tell me not to do a certain thing? Why? You must give them a reason why you are telling them not to do a certain thing. Because it doesn't add up to them. They feel you need to explain to them. Why are you telling me not to do a certain thing? And remember, there's this thing that we used to be told, especially when we were young as girls, not to walk with men or not to walk with boys. At times, we were not told why men or boys are bad. We were just told to avoid them and not to mingle with them. Not being told why. And at times, that thing used to affect us because you're not told why. And at times, the why is what can help even to maybe to avoid them. But you're not told a why. So it's you to go and invent on yourself why your parent tells you not to do this or not to do this. They have this perspective we don't know. Especially for us millennials, we are in this, no parents, we are getting a bit exposed, but we are not so much exposed. So parents, they have a context in them. They might know, or maybe they don't know. So they will tell you not to do a certain thing, but they won't tell you the repercussion. Because at times, they fear telling you, they will expose you to it and maybe you don't know it. So they're in a point of, does she know? Does she not know? In one or another, it affected us because there's some things, if you are told, don't do this because of this and this, would be better. So that's a transition that parents didn't realize that. They are a bit exposed, but they're not too much exposed. So as much as you may tell them not to do a certain thing, you are told, I don't want to ever see you with so-and-so. The friendship of so-and-so, I don't want it. And the story ends there. In one or another, you have not helped that child. You have not helped that maybe teenagers there, who maybe you, according to you as a parent, you know so-and-so is a bad company, and you tell your daughter or your son, I don't want you to be walking with so-and-so, I don't want you to be relating with so-and-so, but you have not given them a reason. But the moment you tell them that, don't be accompanying yourself with so-and-so because this person will influence you in this person will influence you in this, and this is not good. At times you help that person, you help that young person who is growing up to know that when I accompany myself with so-and-so, I might get myself doing such and such habits. So it's very important in parenting, especially in this era that we are in. When you're telling your child not to do a certain thing, accompany it with an explanation. You know, our parents or parents of that earlier age, they used to be these authoritative parents. They could just say, no negotiations, and they expect whatever they have said to be done. And if you don't do it, you are in for punishment. That's what used to happen. And we are in an era that we have to be parents that we cannot be authoritative parents. We have to be parents that at times they allow dialogue. At times you have to sit down and be told by your child. Because that's how they are right now. You know, children of nowadays, you don't tell them. You sit down and deliberate. For us, according to how we were brought up, we actually didn't feel that we are missing out on something. We came to realize it very at times when growing up. At times you even don't know whatever you're experiencing. At times, when you think of it way back, it's when you get to realize, I think I missed out on this and this because and this happened. And in the era we are in as parents, we have to be on the lookout on how we are bringing up our children. Because one thing about the children of nowadays, they don't fear anything. And as we have been encountering in our country about the demonstration and all that, the people who have been on the front line are this young generation, the Gen Zs. Actually, fear is not in them. How they articulate, they call themselves fearless. For sure, they are fearless. And this is even what is happening even in the homes. They do things and they don't fear. They talk how they want. They don't fear anything. And as parents, if we don't realize that, we will miss out on something, because they don't fear. They don't fear at all. You'll get them even telling their parents something, and you're like, how do you tell that to your mom? How can you tell your dad such? You know, at our times, there are ways you could not have talked to your mother, because you knew if you tried, you are in for it. You are in for it. But nowadays, at times you'll hear on how children are talking to their parents, and you'll wonder, what? Oh, which times are we in? It's a times that we need to be very vigilant. It's a times that we need to be very cautious, because it's a time that parenting is so hard. Even as we are approaching that age of having kids, maybe that's early teenage or even late teenage, at times it's swelling, because you even don't know how to handle it, because it's hard. It's so hard. Because these are children that at times you don't know what they want. They even don't understand themselves what they want. Today she's like this, tomorrow she's like this. Like there's a place where I go I go for manicure and pedicure, and I get to meet this young girl. The ladies who are there are girls, and they are young girls, and they share a lot of stories. At times when you're there, you just hear them talk, and maybe in one or another, even out of your interest, you'll get to hear of stories here and there they are sharing. And there is one time, it was on a Sunday, I go, and as I get my nails done, there's a conversation that is going on between the ladies. One lady is telling the other of how she has been interacting with his young brother. The young brother is like ranting to her. She has been sending him messages and voice notes of how she's not comfortable at home, of how the mom is harassing, of how she's ranting a lot, because she could listen to the voice notes and then respond to the voice notes. I tried to listen to whatever they were discussing about, and children of nowadays, at times it's even hard to understand them. Now the brother to the sister, now the sister is the one who is here. They are conversing through the phone. The sister is trying to tell the friend here, my brother is going through what I went through, and this is the reason that I had to run away from home. At times mom couldn't understand me. I felt mom hates me, because at times I would just lock myself in my bedroom for even days. I don't even sit in the sitting room, and when she comes, she keeps on complaining how the sitting room is dirty, the sitting room where I have not been there, sitting room where I have not even spent any time there. I've just been in my bedroom. Why is she telling me to clean the... No, the sister is older. She has younger siblings, and as a parent, when maybe you come home, you would obviously ask the firstborn, why did this and this happen? Now this lady is like, me, I've been in my bedroom. Why are you asking me about the sitting room where I've not spent my time? Why are you asking me about how the sitting room is dirty and disorganized and I've not been there? So she feels that is an issue that is making her to hate the mom. She feels the mom doesn't love her. And now I was trying to be in the context of the mother. You've been working the entire day. You have come home. You've met the room, the sitting room is disorganized. You come and get it's not clean, it's not tidying up. The place is just in a mess. And as a mom, you go forward and consult the firstborn, because you expect if there was much that was to be done, the firstborn could have done it. And now the daughter is there, she's like, you hate me. Why are you asking me of a sitting room that I have not even spent the day there? And I'm like, we are in the times that if you don't get into details, more details, the children will misunderstand you, and the children will feel that she's hated, The children will feel that it's like you don't love them, and of which, as a parent, you are at times so innocent. One thing with these children that we are bringing up lately, they talk a lot maybe with the friends, and they are comparing themselves maybe with the friends. At times they want whatever goes on in such and such a certain home to happen in their home, and homes are different. So one thing I would like maybe for us, for the children who are growing up in this era, let's try at times to understand our parents. You hear of children say, there are some things that I've gotten to see in the social media handles, and I'm like, what? Have we come to this? Children are like, did we tell our mothers to give birth to us? There's nowhere we asked our mothers to like bring us to this world. And I'm like, what? Some things are alarming. As parents, at times I would see even parents comment, and I'm like, for sure it's hard as parents hearing such words from children. You know, at our times, you could not have spoken such to parents, but nowadays it's happening. Yeah, you hear someone asking his or her mother, why did you bring me? Why did you give birth to me? Did I ask you to give birth to me? And at times, situations matters. At times, maybe the daughter or the son would expect the mom to bring him up in a certain manner, but the mom cannot meet the standards due to maybe financial constraints, due to other reasons. So as children, let's not blame our parents at times because of what they offer. Because one thing I know as a parent, you'll always try to give your children the best. Yeah. A parent who is sane in mind, a parent who is upright, and a parent who is health-wise, he or she is okay. One thing I'm confident about is he or she will try to give the children the best. So when you hear a child telling the mother or the father, I didn't tell you to bring me to this universe, I didn't tell you to give birth to me, at times it's worrying, because there is something that is out of this world. As children, let's try to understand our parents. Let's not be so rigid that we want things to happen our way. Our parents are doing the best. The extent we are in, imagine our parents are doing the best. They may not do the best according to our expectation, but according to their ability, they are really trying. They are really doing the best. Yes, we can't deny the fact that there are parents who are not up to what they should be doing. But one thing I'm confident about, 98% of parents, they are studying out to do their best. And I think it's the high time we get to understand parents. One thing, as parents also, we should not come with the African nature of how parents were. One thing we need to involve dialogue in the upbringing of children of nowadays. Yeah, we must have dialogue. Listen to your children. Don't be authoritative. You have to sit down and get to hear whatever your son or your daughter is bringing out. Because these are children that are growing up knowing so many things. They can't act like we used to act in those days. I might not be that old, but I know the children of nowadays are a bit different. There are things that for us we used to see them as common, but them it's a big deal to them. Because misunderstanding with parents used to happen even those old days, but for us there's nothing we could have done. We just used to be quiet, but of nowadays they are not keeping quiet, of which is good, because there are some of us who got a lot of traumas when growing up. We had a lot to deal with, because at times you have kept quiet, you are low, you get low self-esteem. At times you even cannot express yourself because you grow up in fear. It was not a good upbringing, by the way, because you grow up not even knowing to raise up your voice, even to raise issues. At times it even affects us when you're growing up, because you get to realize things will happen and you're like, okay, because that's what you are taught, that everything should not happen as per your way. It should happen as per maybe your parents' way and such like. So nowadays, at least children of nowadays, they are speaking up. But as much as they are speaking up, at times parents are not there to listen out to our children. As parents, let's try as much as possible to be there to listen to them. Listen to them, tell them the workable things, tell them the repercussions, tell them the challenges of the things that they are trying to do. Yeah, sit them down, advise them. and advise them in a friendly way. At times, we are in times that we have to come to a point of even a friend zone as parents. You have to befriend your daughter as a mom. As a dad, you have to befriend your son. As a mom, you have to befriend your son. Even as a dad, you have to befriend your daughter. Yeah, let there be a point that there are days you are a parent, but there are days you become a friend to this person. There are days you just go approach your daughter or your son. You sit with them down. You just in a normal talk. You just in a normal conversation. Yani, you get to their level. You try to ask normal questions, no judgment, no anything. With such, you get to understand your daughter or your son in a way that you couldn't have expected. But the moment we put ourselves in that level of parents, we lose it. Because these children are different. They want to be heard. They want to speak out. And if you as a parent, you're not there to hear to them, they will speak out there outside. They will be heard there outside. And at times, the information that they'll be fed with, maybe the advice that will be given is not good. That's why at times you see children react in certain way, not because it's something that it is in them, but it's the advice they got there. How they spoke out to wrong people, they spoke up to wrong audience, and they were given. Because at times they're even googling things in the social medias. They are going there and watching movies and all such kind of things, and they get insights and advice from those places. So at times you'd be like, how did my daughter or my son get to know all this? You may never know. So at times, as it's good and it's very important for us to learn, to be the first advisors to our children. Yes, he or she will be advised there outside, but let them have the advice of the mom, advice of the dad. Let's be in their level to some occasions. Because if we don't do that, imagine to not work out. Don't be a parent 24/7. That one will not work. That one used to work in our days. Because in those past days, at times you could not, there was not that time for befriending. At befriending, you're friends with your mom, you're friends with your dad. It used to happen, but not in most places. But nowadays, we have to be friends to our children. We have to be friends to the sons and daughters we are bringing up. With that, we'll get to understand them. Because at times, misunderstanding that comes in, actually it is from very tiny things. Very tiny things. Very tiny things. Things that you could not even imagine can bring quarrels. Because in one or another, something that we cannot shy off from saying, there are children who have maybe become suicidals, who have committed suicide. And if you get to investigate and if you get to find out, the reason was toxic parents. And according to them, they call it toxic parents. And in one or another, as a mom, as a dad, maybe you didn't know you are toxic, but the daughter or the son felt that you're toxic. Maybe you even didn't know. So it's very good and it's very important at times. Get to listen out to your daughter. How does she take you? How does she maybe see you? Are you even a role model to that person? I think it's good to listen to this. One thing, I'm very sure when you befriend your child, they can never turn back to you, because you're the first person they have known, and you're the person who at times it's very hard to decline a parent. If a parent come in a friendly way, it's very hard for you to decline it as a child or as a daughter or as a son. It's very hard. So this is one thing that we need to do a lot. Let's befriend our children. Let's hear them. Let's give them that listening ear. Let's be there for them. Create time for your children. At times we create time for friends. We create time for family members. We create times for having fun and for enjoying, for road trips, for going out for drinks, at times even for church and church meetings, for occasions and all that. And we forget to create time for our children. That is where we are messing up. We create time for everything else, but we don't create time for children. It's the high time, even as parents, we learn. At times, just have a date with your son. Have a nature walk with your daughter. At times, just get out of here. Go and hire maybe an Airbnb, a room somewhere. Go and spend that time with your daughter. This is the time we are in. That's the only way that we can save our children. Let them become our friends. Because they are exposed to too much. And you will not know if you don't talk to them. You will not know if you don't interact with them. Yeah. You have to have dialogues. At times, it's by reasoning of their thinking and how they are speaking out their things, you get to know, by the way, my daughter has this aspect of things and this aspect of things. At times we have this issue of lesbianism and gayism. If you don't interact with your daughter or your son, you won't realize, you won't know. It will get you off guard when maybe it has happened for years, and trying maybe to transform that person to get back to her normal her or her normal he. It will be hard. But the moment you get to talk with this person, you become friends. Because let me tell you one thing. A friend that I have, it will be very easy to notice a change. It will be very easy to notice a change. I'll be like, hey, by the way, since last week, since yesterday, since the last 1 month, I've been seeing a certain behavior. It will be very easy to notice something. It will be very easy for us to notice something. Yeah. And when we are friends with our kids or our parents, let me tell you, these children are hiding so many things from you parents, let me tell you. These Gen Zs, they are hiding so many things from you parents. If you get to realize some of the things that they are doing, you will be very surprised. Because they know you are this authoritative person. Everything you say is a no. And one thing they will do, they will hide you from so many things. Yeah. Because they know, they are like, I know how to manage my mom, I know to manage my dad. They will try as much as possible to manage you. But the moment you befriend these people, the moment you are friends, it will be very free for you, for them to share out issues. They will even share things that you wouldn't think they can share. And there's something that is very good. You see, as a son or as a daughter, when you have your mom or a dad as your parent, as your friend, imagine those people, they never get lost. Ever listened of stories of people who have been friends with their parents? Those people, at times, they never get lost. At times, they never mess their life. Those children, at times, they are the best. Those children who can interact with their mom freely. Those children who can just call their mom, their dad, and just share out anything. You get these children in one or another, their personal skills, and there are so many things that you cannot compare to a child that was so, everything was do this, do this, do that, do that. So if there's one thing that we need to embrace in our parenting of nowadays, parenting of these days, we have to befriend our children. One thing about friends talk, friends relate, friends share ideas, friends ask for advice. That's what we have to do with our children. That's the only way we can save this generation. Go listen to your daughter. Your daughter wants this, she wants this, she wants this. Tell her, this one is okay, but for this one, I don't think it's okay. Imagine, with such kind of an approach, it will happen. But the moment you say, you know what, in my house, this cannot happen, we are losing it there. Imagine, some of these children, they really hate their parents. Parents, let me tell you the truth. These young girls, these young boys you are bringing up, they hate you so much. Imagine, you hear them say it so broadly. I hate my mom and I hate my dad. Something that used not to happen in our times. How could you hate your mom? How could you hate your dad? That is something that you could not hear. But nowadays we are hearing it all over. Yeah, talk with them. You could even read in the social media handles. At times, the story that was going on, what even worried me was not the exact story, because at times you may not be sure of whether the exact story was the truth. But how many young people came out relating to the same story. I don't know whether you got some time to read some of those comments and some of those SMSs that were written there. At times you even be worried. What changed? What happened? And as parents, let's not be responsible parents. Let's not be don't cares. These are not the times to be don't cares. As much as we care so much about our career, as much as we care so much about our businesses, let's also care so much about our parents, because we are losing it there. We are so focused on providing for our children, and we forget parenting. And they have to go to way. Because yes, we have provided basic needs. Yes, you have provided everything. You have provided education. And everything that maybe that child needs is there. But what about parenting? We are failing a lot on parenting. This is for a fact. Because as much as we may go to the other side of how children of nowadays are, even as parents, we have become too busy. Yes, we don't spare time for our kids. As we purpose on all other things, let's also purpose on parenting, because it's also a big issue on itself. As you purpose on how you'll be financially stable, also purpose on how you bring up a stable family, stable children. Because we are also failing it as parents. We have to balance the two. Let's have time for our children. Let's secure time for our children. Imagine we cannot be friends with our children if we don't, that time that you're just in the sitting room eating, that time that you're just maybe doing house chores and all that, that is not enough time for interaction. We have to have sit downs with our children. We have to have interactive times with our children. Yes, that is the only way. It will just work like that. That is the only thing that's gonna work. Befriending our children. And it has to start with the parent. At times as a child you may try, but if the parent is so strict, the parent is so rigid, it might not happen. It might not happen. So it has to start from the parents. Let's create time. Let's befriend these people. That is the only way we can get to know them. Because let me tell you, the only easier way of bringing up this generation of nowadays is just befriending them. Nothing else. You have to befriend them. You have to befriend them. There's no other way out. You have to befriend them. And for the parents who are bringing up Gen Zs and who have brought them up, you can tell me, that is the only way. You have to befriend them. Because the moment you don't, you lose it from there. They will get all other sources of help and all other sources of information from wherever. You don't know where. That's why they are so much into a lot of things. You'll get a person who is maybe, to say, 18 years or 19 years. If you sit with such person down, you'll be very amazed. These children know a lot of things. Well, it's worrying. Someone has just cleared Form 4. But the information that this someone has, the things he or she is talking about, you with your many years, imagine you don't know. You don't know. Because these people are so much exposed. They know a lot. They know a lot that even parents don't know. Yeah. Because actually the many parents who have Gen Zs are the people who are in their 40s. Maybe 40s, 50s. Or maybe those people who got children at their early age. Maybe that is some the late 30s. Those are the children who have brought up the Gen Zs. But let me tell you, even the generation Alpha that is also just after the Gen Zs, there's not much difference. They are also the same. Let me tell you. So, as from their young age, let's try to befriend them. Let's try as much as possible to befriend them, because that is the only way we can solve out on this issue of toxicity. Toxic parents. Do we toxic what? Toxic what? Yes. And let's speak to our children nicely. These are not the times that children were shouted at. Those are our times. Our times. At times our parents knew that the only way to handle or to ensure something has been done is by shouting. And nowadays it's not a time for shouting to your children. Imagine they'll hate you for such a simple thing. Yeah. They don't want to be shouted at. Those are then. But for now, at times, that is something that will start developing in that child, and she'll be fearing, why do mom shout at me? Mom does not love me. Why do dad shout at me? Mom does not love me. At times it comes by default, but that should not be a norm. That in every conversation, in every maybe responsibility, or in every maybe something you want to tell him or her, you shouting or you just raising your voice. Let's be friendly also. Let's talk to them casually. And another thing that we have to do as parents, we have to keep on asking for forgiveness from our children. Yes. If you do something and you get to see that maybe your child has been offended and such, let's be apologizing to them. Yes. Because we are trying to help them. The reason why we are trying to raise them up in a good way, the reason why at times you're even changing our aspect of parenting is because we want them to be good people. It's because we want them to fit in the society we are in. Because times have changed. We also have to change our part of parenting. No, we are not in the aspect of between me and you. You'll know who got birth to the other. You'll know who was in the rape world. I don't think we are in such times. No. For them to become, for them to be even obedient, we have also to calm down. Yes. These are not the times you keep on telling your child, do you know what I've gone through bringing you up? Do you know what? Imagine these children, they don't care. Children of now, they don't care. You're there, you are a single mom, you keep on telling your child, do you know how I have Do you know what I've gone through? Children of nowadays, they don't care. That is none of their business. Imagine, they don't care. So don't be there telling them of whatever you went through, whatever you did. Imagine it's less of a concern to them. They don't care. You may see like that is something that will make them maybe to be obedient or even to change their behavior. It won't change them, by the way. Just look for something else, because that one will not work. That one will not work. That used to work in our days. You know, those days you as a parent, you could say, my mom has been through this and this, and at least I should not be. Children of nowadays don't care. So you telling them what you've gone through or what you're even going through, they will be like, did I ask you to give birth to me? Very unapologetically, they will say it. So it's not a time of you explaining to them and ranting to them. They don't care. They really don't care. So you turn everything up and down to give them a good living, but don't keep on explaining to them how right you're doing. They better see it, because they are not the same, but most of them are the ones who don't care. So as much as we're trying to let them understand us, sometimes they will not. So let that not be an approach. Let's be there to love them. Let's be there to befriend them. Let's create time. And also, it's good and it's very important at times. Always appreciate whatever she or the son your daughter is doing. That is one thing that at times those parents of our times used not to do. Your mom left and she told you to do this and this and this. Maybe she told you to do 4 things or 3 things. You did all the others and you forget one. Imagine she will not see the 4 that you did. She would. Then it happened that maybe whatever you didn't do is the first thing that will get her first eyesight when she gets home. Let me tell you, that home will not be at peace. And maybe since morning you have not rested. You have been trying to do everything. And by mistake, you forgot one thing. And she comes, and that one thing just catches her attention as the first thing. She'll start making noise and complaining from that time until the rest, I don't know how many hours. You go asleep when you're so annoyed. You go asleep when you're so sad. Yeah. Let that not happen. At times, when you come home as a parent, this and this they have done. This one they have not done. Start at times by appreciating whatever they did. Hey, by the way, oh, my dear daughter, hey, you did this and this. Oh, at least this is good. You tried. This was a good trial. Thank you for attempting this. Thank you for doing this. And there's something that you forgot. This, and this. But at times, starting from whatever this person didn't do, you have killed the morale, you have killed the psyche, even tomorrow. Or maybe at times you try even doing something that you're not told to do. Have you ever tried? Maybe your mom told you to do this and this and this, and you felt it important to do something extra, expecting that when she comes, she will be very excited for that extra thing that you did. Oh, my friend. And then you get to eat that. She even does not notice it. Or she notices it and she's like, it's none of a concern to her. At times, let's be there to appreciate our children. Let's be there at times to see the good things they are doing. That extra thing. Tell them they have tried. Even if they didn't do it perfectly, tell them, you know what? You tried. But next time, you can try doing it this way and this way. Have you ever tried cooking a certain type of food and your mom came and scolded you, and maybe because of doing it wrongly? These are not the times, by the way, of at times scolding our children and maybe at times scolding them because of simple things. If they did it wrongly and they tried, tell them they tried. But you know what, my daughter? It is usually done like this, and like this. Imagine that person is running. But the moment you like, now who told you to do this? Why couldn't you have asked? No. If they are trying, tell them they try. If they have done it wrongly, tell them it was a good try, but next time do this, and this. That's the only way we can deal with. And I don't know why children of nowadays are so emotional. They're so emotional. Something so true is just catching them their entire... that person will be like, she's sad, I don't know why children of nowadays are so emotional. And a little thing is taking their entire emotion. A little thing can make them even to run away from home. Something that is so minor, it will make them to just run away from home. So at times, understanding them, we have to befriend them. because they are so emotional. They change within minutes at times. They get sad in an aspect that you're like, hey, was that even something to make you sad? They will get sad, they will lock themselves in their bedroom, something that used not to happen in our times. Right? It used not to happen. But we have to go as times, we have to change as times are changing, because that's the only way. And another thing we need to learn in this current parenting is discipline. Discipline and not punishment. There's a difference between punishing and disciplining. One thing that we can get to know is that when you punish someone, it's like you always do it to like avenge yourself. You get to meet, maybe your child did this and this, you beat them or you punish them, and you feel fulfilled as a parent that you did a certain thing. But you know, when you're disciplining someone, when I get to get my son, my daughter did this, and I'm disciplining that person, I'll be trying to ensure that this thing, she won't repeat it again. So I'll be there to like point out the mistake, and I'll be there to tell him or her, this thing should not be done again. But punishment, at times there's no even explanation of, oh, if you did this, if you didn't do this. At times punishment is that you just beaten just for the sake of it. And that's what used to happen at times. And this past parenting, parents just used to punish. But nowadays it's a time of disciplining. It's a time of sitting down with your daughter and understanding, telling him, you did this and this, and it's not good at all. And you need to make a change. At times you can decline some offers. If you don't do this and this will not happen. That is discipline. You are disciplining that person. You're telling him or her, this is the important thing to do. You should not be doing this. It's discipline involves dialogue. Discipline involves correcting. Discipline involves conversation. But punishment is all about beating. It's not a time of beating our children. It's not a time of like punishing them. No. At times we even decline some favors. Maybe it's a teenager. You tell him or her, if you continue doing this and this, maybe I'll take your phone, maybe you'll not be accessing the house Wi-Fi, maybe such things. But it's not a time of like beating. No, this is not a time of punishment. It's a time of discipline. Because the moment you discipline, your concern is that child. But punishment, your concern is yourself as a parent. So let's focus so much on disciplining. Because punishment will not work in this era. And this is also happening even in our schools nowadays. In our early days, actually used to be very punished in schools. At times, teachers could beat you even for things that you're like, at times you get to think of it, and you're like, why were teachers beating us that much? Hey, teachers used to beat us. Now you even told to remove your shoes and you're beaten. Even on your, and you're like, hey, he used to be beaten a lot. Yani, learning was like, there's no day you could go to school and go back home, especially in that primary level, without having a teacher who will come and beat you even mercilessly. And I thank God that it has changed, because nowadays children are not even beaten in school. It has changed. Yes, it's a time of disciplining, because beating at times never changes. It never changes someone. You'll come and beat me. Yes, I'll feel the pain that time, yes. But at times that one will not change me. Do you realize that there was people who are so notorious in school? And even teachers used to say, you know one thing with you, at times you even don't like feel, you no longer feel the pain, because this teacher has beaten you every day, every other day. And even at times, even the teacher knows very well within him or herself that he or she no longer even fears the beating, because it has become like a norm. Yeah, I used to see even in school at times, even boys used to wear even 2 shorts, because each and every day you must be beaten at your back. And I'm like, hey, we used to be beaten a lot, and of which at times beating helps nothing. It helps nothing. For those teachers who used to beat us, especially in primary school, it's bad. It's bad. At times you could go home and even your hands are swollen, like you've been beaten. The teachers had to look for a very minute thing to just punish you. Hey, we were really punished. And I don't think it's the punishment that helped us. Yeah. It's good for a teacher who used to sit you down and tell you this, and this, other than a teacher that just used to beat you up. So let's focus on disciplining and let's avoid punishment. It works, but only if it has the discipline in it. At times, punishment alone might not work. Parenting has no manual. Parenting is not easy. And at times, there might never be a perfect parent. We are all trying, because that's what we have to do. I love you so much, and Thank you for coming back day after day. And for those who have not subscribed, kindly subscribe, like, and you can share your insights so also in your comment section. Until next time, bye bye. Love you.